What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm here to bring you part 9 of my F1 2016 Career Mode series. Today we are Austria, and just to let you know, I know there has been F1 2017 announced and I have already pre-ordered it, and but because it's been, the release date is now the 25th of August, that means it gives me some time, so I just need to upload Career Mode videos, so there will be some other videos coming out. But nevertheless, let's get straight on to practice. On the track acclimatization, we actually did so many laps on this, and this is our last lap that we could have got 50 resource points, and we did manage to get 50 resource points. And at the end of practice 1 we ended up in 21st place. Not really too worried about that because it always seems that they are faster in practice. My teammate finished up in 12th, and look at the resource points at the end of practice 1. We got an extra 104 resource points added onto our 444 resource points, and that takes us to 554, sorry. And now going on to practice 2. This is time management test. You can see we've got 3 purple laps already, so we've already got a perfect score, but we still need to go for another lap anyway, and we are on for another purple lap, and we do get another purple lap, so that gives us an extra 50 resource points in the bank for that. And now we go on to the qualifying pace, which shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully. And on our first lap we actually did it, and then on our last lap we actually hit the wall, and that takes us out of practice 2. And practice 3 we didn't actually do because we didn't actually complete it. Replay of just what happened. You see I had a flashback, but I didn't use a flashback because well, there was no real point. So look at the resources we got from practice 2. Now we get an extra 100, we get an extra 83 resource points, and that takes our total up to 627. And practice 3, as I said, we already didn't show you because we couldn't actually complete it. Now on to qualifying. Skim through Q1 and Q2 because we got through them easily and nobody else, and there was nobody in the knockouts. Open up the DRS on the run up to the line in Q3, and I believe that says P4. Where did we qualify on the grid? And it is P4, so 4th place on the grid. Not too bad. Not the best lap, but not the worst lap. I didn't think I could have gotten anything right out of the car. So the grid tomorrow is Daniel Ricciardo qualifying on pole for Red Bull with Sebastian Vettel in second, Lewis Hamilton third. There you can see it as legendary. I was in 4th, Nico Rosberg in 5th, Max Verstappen in 6th, Kimi Raikkonen in 7th. My teammate Jensen Button finished up in 8th, ahead of the Williams of Felipe Massa, and Nico Rosberg rounded out the top 10 for Force India. So the Red Bull, just point out, is actually the fastest car in terms of research and development on the chart at the moment. So that's good for Red Bull, but not so much for me, as we get this 106 resource points for qualifying. And looking at the rivalry update, I believe we fall behind. Yes, we have fallen behind Sebastian Vettel now, losing the rivalry. And looking at the driver position, we actually moved up to 9 after we qualified above 7 and beat Jensen Button in qualifying. Now let's go to the race.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it.
So here we are on the grid looking at the race strategy. So it looks like we're going to start on the soft and go into the soft at the end of the race. I did think we had to change it to super soft because of personalised strategy, it changed it to super soft, but I decided to go with the ultra soft to soft compound, and we do put the fuel down a bit just because we don't need that much fuel. And now we are revving up to 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix in this 2016 season, and it's lights out and away we go. Sebastian Vettel doesn't get the best start, Hamilton gets a brilliant start against Vettel, and Rosberg gets the best start out of everyone it seems, and he moves up into 3rd place, maybe 2nd. We got the inside Sebastian Vettel into the first corner, side contact with Hamilton and Rosberg, and that lets us get alongside Rosberg on the run up to turn 2, I believe this is, maybe sort of turn 3, I'm not entirely sure, but we're on the outside of Rosberg, and we brake nice and easy down the 2nd gear, run wide, and we do actually get ahead of Rosberg. We lose back end, and that lets Rosberg get up alongside now our outside, and we need to and on the run up to, I believe this is turn 3 or turn 4, one of the two, and brake nicely. We have the inside line, which means we should stay ahead, and we do in fact stay ahead of Nico Rosberg on lap 1. So we're up in 3rd place. Daniel Ricciardo leads ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and I believe that this is the way it will stay at the moment up to the pit stops, hopefully. And now on to lap 2, coming up to turn 3 or turn 2, I'm not entirely sure. There's yellow flags ahead, but now they're green flag racing in. Now yellow flags, and Rosberg actually gets up past us under the yellow flags, and now it's green flag racing, but Rosberg is actually allowed to keep that place even though he got under yellow flags, which is a bit which I didn't actually realise at the time, but now I have. And safety car has been deployed. I'm not entirely sure what that was for, but we are now in 4th place behind Nico Rosberg, and I really wanted Rosberg to get a move on here, because he should really be catching up to the car, and we get an option to change the strategy. We decide to stay on what we are, and Rosberg is going so slowly. I don't know why he's not getting a move on and catching up to Ricciardo and Hamilton here. It was a bit frustrating for me, as now we move on to lap 3. Rosberg actually pitted last lap, as did my teammate but Lewis Hamilton has to continue on under the safety car conditions, while myself and Daniel Ricciardo come into the pit stops to switch onto the soft tyres. I believe Ricciardo goes on the soft tyres, we might go on the super soft tyres, but nevertheless we are going on to the soft tyres as we come into the pit lane. Daniel Ricciardo pulls you to the pit box, and we are going to pull into our pit box around about now. Now we pull into our pit box, and the soft tyres are going on the car, and that's a 2.7 second pit stop as we are coming back out on track. Ricciardo is ahead, and there's Ericsson on the right hand side, Nasser as well, Magnussen, and I believe we rejoin in 15th, just behind Felipe Nasser and ahead of Marcus Ericsson. Yes, we do. So Ricciardo is 2 cars ahead up the road as we now cut onto lap 5, the end of the safety car period, preparing to resume racing, and come around the final corner. Is now green flag racing, penultimate corner, sorry, and that's now green flag racing. And we can see Ricciardo is trying to get past Palmer, while we need to get ahead of Nasser and Magnussen as soon as we possibly can down the straight in the slipstream, 8th gear, and we pull out and go up the inside of Felipe Nasser up into the first corner. Very nice move there, and now we have Magnussen, Ricciardo, and I believe it's Palmer ahead of us in that order, and we want to win this race as Ricciardo is now looking to make a move on Palmer. But yes, pull back inside, we got the inside, lock up our right front, but we get past Daniel Ricciardo and Ken Magnussen, and so that's a double overtake, which is good. And next up we have the Renault of Johnny and Palmer. He's on the super tyres, so we should be able to get past him very soon. And we actually miss our braking point, and slight contact with Palmer, which puts him out, and puts him offline, and we actually get past. Could say that was against the rules, but the game didn't recognise it as that, and if we did in fact let him back through, we would have let Ricciardo through as well. But we didn't want to do that, so we moved up into 11th place. Next up is Daniel Kvyat on the and there's Perez setting fast lap in Grosjean, and then myself setting fast lap. So we are the fast car on the track at the moment on the soft tyres, while Kvyat, Sainz, and the cars ahead are on super soft tyres. I don't know how they're taking them this far. Actually, they're on super soft, aren't they? Not. Soft soft a bit stupid here, but still. Now we've got the inside Daniel Kvyat. On these and our soft tyres. We have a fast car on the track at the moment, and we do move up into 7th place. Next up it is Carlos Sainz in the other Toro Rosso, and now I believe it is the 2 Manners ahead of him, and it is its rear line ahead, then Hyanto, then Sainz, and then myself, and then Kvyat at the moment. And I believe we should be able to get past them pretty quickly. We want to clear Sainz and clear the Manners as quickly as possible. And now coming through the final corner on lap 7. I'm nearly on lap 8. DRS is not enabled at the moment, but it's across the line, setting fast lap. DRS is also now being enabled as we go up the inside of Carlos Sainz up into the first corner, 3rd gear. Nice move, and that puts us up in 3rd place with Rio Haryanto in 2nd and Pascal Wehrlein leading. And I think Kvyat now moves up into 4th place. Yes, he does. So I believe Sainz, Haryanto, Wehrlein, and Kvyat are all yet to make a pit stop, so we are in a net 1st place, and we have the DRS now on not Daniel Kvyat, Rio Haryanto, and he also has DRS to use against his teammate Pascal Wehrlein. But we got the inside here, lock up our both our front tyres, but that's still the lead. That is still not the lead, 2nd place in this Grand Prix, and I believe he spun because now Kvyat has popped up into P3, and Verline is now leading, but I believe that we should be able to get past him pretty quickly as we are coming through here. I believe he starting. I don't know if he does pick this lap. He might pick this up. I can't exactly remember. On lap 8, and he obviously chooses to carry on because the line he's taking is the racing line. And now on lap 9, we have got the DRS open, and we have got the DRS to use against Pascal Verline, and we just breeze past him. He basically, I'll take credit from Baby because he was just a sitting duck on the straight without DRS, and now we just need to hold the lead for another 9 laps to win this race. And now on lap 15, coming on to lap 16, everyone is pitted, so that's put Rosberg in second and Verline in, not Verline, Verstappen in third, and Rosberg is actually caught up and he goes up the inside and cuts the corner, and there's contact. I believe there's contact, and Nico Rosberg has spun around. Let's take a look at a few replays of that. First of all, we're going to show you this angle. I think we're showing you three angles. This is the first angle. Going up the inside, can't really see, and it's like Rosberg cut this corner and then there's contact and he spins. And now from Rosberg's point of view, he just cuts the corner. It looks like he just cuts the corner and then there's contact and he's round. And this is a very good point of view. We're also going to slow this one down a bit, stop it and slow it down, and spin it up a bit there. And look, Rosberg just cuts the corner. This is how Rosberg cuts the corner. And so mounts the curb, gets put up in the air a bit, and then there's nothing you can do. It looks like Rosberg actually spins it with no contact. And there's a bit of contact at the end, I believe, maybe just slightly of contact nearly, but it looked like Rosberg just lost it. And then on lap 18, the final lap of the Grand Prix, we were unchallenged since Rosberg's ban, and we won the Austrian Grand Prix, our second race win on F1 2016, our second race win of this season, and our second race win in the last 3 Grand Prix. So we win one race, didn't finish outside the points in 18th in the next, and we come straight back to win the next Grand Prix. I was very, very happy about that. Perfect race. The safety car really helped us. I think if the safety car didn't come out, we wouldn't have won the race because at the restart we were able to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. Looking at the race results now, you can see that we were on race here, Max Verstappen in second, and Sebastian Vettel round out the podium. Lewis Hamilton finished in 4th ahead of Nico Rosberg. Daniel Ricciardo finished in 6th. Nico Rosberg finished in 7th after that spin, with I don't think there was any contact, but it was definitely his fault in my opinion. Felipe Massa finished in 8th, with Sergio Perez in 9th, and my teammate Jensen Button rounding out the top 10, scoring the last final point. And then Kimi Raikkonen finished in 11th place, just missing out on the points. Pascal Verline finished in 14th, so a very good result of him. Everyone finished the race, so you can see no DNFs. And looking at the race director, you can see all legendary and I am a human. So I was very happy with that race. I couldn't ask for anything better really. And yeah, now looking at driving standings, you see Lewis Hamilton leads the way, extending his lead over Nico Rosberg with 54 points, with myself in 3rd with 79 points. Maybe we can win the championship this season. I think I'll just have to see how it goes in the other few races. The 2 Red Bulls and then next are Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, then the 2 Ferraris, 2 Williams and 2 Force Indias. So it's Vettel in 7th with Kimi Raikkonen ahead in 6th. Bottas and Massa in 8th and 9th with Sergio Perez rounding out the top 10, Nico Rosberg, and my team Jensen Button in 12th. Title points with Nico Rosberg. Looking at the constructors, Mercedes extend their lead over Red Bull with Ferrari in 3rd, McLaren were in 4th, quite a way behind Ferrari and quite a way ahead of Williams. So our aim is just finish ahead of 4th. It's just finishing 4th. Whether it's Williams or Force India who's behind us, right behind us in 5th, I don't know. But yeah, the teams yet to score now are Sauber and Haas, I believe. And Manor are actually ahead of Renault. And I look at the resource points at the end of the race, we get an extra 126 resource points, which puts us on 890. We also get the first drive bonus, which gives us an extra 89 resource points, and takes us up to 929. And now this is interesting a bit. We did in fact finish ahead of Sebastian Vettel, and we set a fast start of the Grand Prix in the process. So we are just able to beat him in the rivalry update, which is very good for us. And now I think the driving position we move up to 10. In fact, we move up 3 more times as well because we complete all the objectives, everything that the team wanted us to do. And the career score we don't really care about that, so we'll skip through that. And now we go into that top and onto the research and development page. You can see that we can upgrade anything we want apart from the engine, and I decided to upgrade the chassis weight because that will help us in pretty much every single Grand Prix, which is good for us. Williams, they might overtake us pretty soon. but hopefully I won't. But the next Grand Prix is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, my home Grand Prix, the team's home Grand Prix, Jet Button Home's Grand Prix, so I'm hoping that we can do well there, get a good result. But yeah, that's been it for this video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, please hit a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at @Shank/82. As always, there is a link to that down in the description. All the music used in the video is also down in the description. But that's been it from me. I'll see you next time.